Alright, some more from Desert Files video. Got some comments that I would be happy to respond to. So this is Aaron Ra dedicating a whole post to me on Patheos. Like 6,000 word post, interestingly enough. And that's fine. It's actually a pretty good write-up. He's really redundant. I mean, I was surprised how many times he said the same thing and used like 1,000 words to say the same thing. Like at the first of it, he would talk about a conversation, and then in the middle of it, he would refer to the same conversation and say the same thing, and then at the end of it, he said basically the same thing about the same conversation over and over and over. So I thought that he wasted a lot of time and a lot of words on it. It's fine though. It's an interesting write-up, and I had fun responding. Anyway, I don't know what I was responding. Oh, the proof. This guy was saying, oh, this guy was going to show Aaron Ra and his commentary on religion, or I don't know what it was. Anyway, that was my proof of whatever it was we were talking about. Then this guy right here. So, like he said up here, oh yeah, Aaron Ra hit the nail on the head. Clovis Star is a lying con man. So Charlie Panda, his name's Brandon, and I've got a post on my website, opinions.clovistar.com, talking about trolls, Trolling 101, I think is the name of the post. And you'll see that this guy has pretty interesting criminal record, having to do with, what was it, false information, terroristic threats, phone harassment. Can't remember. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, it's on there. His criminal record's easy to find at idcourts.us. It's not private information. He says when I reference this and I'm doxing him or whatever, but if it's public information, if you can go to a public website, government website that produces public information, that means it can be used in court. It can be used in a news story. The news can report on it. You know, when they post criminal profiles on the news, like this guy has a history of this. Watch out for him. You know, be aware. Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, this guy, so many, false accusations. That's what it was. He called the police on somebody with false accusations and harassed them with the police, apparently, at least according to these court records. That's what it shows. He's done that to me as well. I never turned him into the cops, but, you know, other people have. So when he says Clovis Star is a lying con man, it's interesting he would say that. I think he's projecting. I don't have any kind of record of that, but apparently he would like to project that on me. I said, what does he say? Filthy Cold has admitted that he is full of Christian cult shit and admitted to himself he's a lying sack. Blah, blah. Anyway, I said what I did admit is in the same video that I thought Desert File deleted his comments, that when I checked a second time, they had showed up. And in fact, I left the comments, recorded them, and they are still there. Desert File lied by saying that I had deleted them. Yes, I admitted to making a mistake seconds after making the mistake. That is the grown-up thing to do. In the same video, I mean, you can see it right here. He's saying that I lied by saying that he deleted his comments, which I thought he did. And in the same video, seconds after I said that, I found the comments and showed the comments and said, oh no, they are still here. I was mistaken. Oh, here's Charlie Panda again. This is why this all happened, is this guy is obsessed with me and his sister and, you know, just continuously harasses us, just like he does other people. It's the same reason why he has restraining orders or protective orders and stuff. Let me get this straight. You claim that Aaron Ra is going door to door or confronting people on the street, forcing his beliefs on them. I have not seen any videos of this by him, but I have seen Ken Ham and Eric Hovind in public parks or beaches doing exactly that. So I gave, you know, some. I'll put the references here in the description. But yeah, there's atheists on how on the street. Oh yeah, and yes, there are atheists on the street, and they are preaching and holding signs and making silly arguments, apparently trying to win souls to atheism. The second one is Aaron Ra preaching to Christians at a Baptist church. And this one cracks me up. Aaron Aaron Ra learning street preaching, or as they call it, street epistemology or something. It's a new term. I'm not even really well aware of it, but basically it means street preaching. And I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. I just think it's funny when the atheists tell me they don't have a religion. So Aaron Ra comments, rather than the door-to-door proselytizing that Clovis Starr accuses, the video showed was of our protest of the Texas Homeschoolers Convention, where they chose to have Ken Ham as their keynote speaker. This was just one more of several examples that the Texas Homeschool Association wasn't about education, it was about religious proselytizing. It's the very thing Clovis Starr falsely accused me of here. Actually, I gave 3 examples. There's plenty more. If you just look up, what is it? I believe it's Aaron Ra confronts Christians, or Aaron Ra at a church, or Aaron Ra confronts street preachers. I mean, there's a ton of them, but then he's learning street epistemologies, learning how to do street preaching, and it's clearly what he does. I mean, at these protests, at Baptist churches, in front of other churches that I've seen him, with street preachers. I mean, he's a religious guy. He's going out trying to win souls for atheism. There's nothing wrong with that. It just is what it is. So anyway, I say, I don't think there is anything wrong with any of that. I just think it's funny that atheists tell me that they don't have a religion. Be as religious as you want, and thanks for addressing one of those 3 videos. Interesting take on it. He says, yeah, the opposition to religion is obviously not religion itself. A religion being faith-based belief system, positing that some essence of self somehow survives death of the physical body to continue on in supernatural form. If you have no faith, no belief system, and you don't have rituals, holidays, or traditions based on your lack of belief in the afterlife or anything supernatural at all, then you meet none of the criteria for religion. And I responded, I said, in response to him, where he says, yeah, the opposition of a religion obviously is not religion itself. And I said, religion does not always equal theism. And then he says, a religion being a faith-based belief system, positing that some essence of the self somehow survives the death of the physical body to continue in some supernatural form. I said, even Desert File here, as a Buddhist, or whatever he says he is, a religious atheist, you reject the dictionary definition, the encyclopedia definition, and the definition that your peers use, which is fine, you were just wrong. He says, if you have no faith, blah, blah, blah. And I said, faith does not equal religion either. Look up the definitions again. There are like 10 of them in the dictionary. Many of them do not even include or allude to faith. But you do have faith. Like in your video about abiogenesis, you say, how did life begin? We still don't know. But then you continue to pretend that this guess, hypothesis, is the answer. Why? Because you have faith it is the answer. So whether you have faith or not, you are the religious atheist, just as Skeptor pegs you as. And then I give him the definitions for religion. A cause, principle, system of tenets held with adored, devotion, conscientiousness and faith, a value held to be of supreme importance. I didn't say anything different than what Aaron Ra is, but listen to this next one. This one doesn't even include faith. 7b, a quality, condition, custom, or thing inspiring zealous devotion, conscientious maintenance, and cherishing. That's absolutely how Aaron Ra treats his atheism. And this is, if you just look at atheism.about.com, and it references the Webster's Third International Dictionary from 1971, I mean, that's the definition of religion under the terminology of atheism at about.com. Anyway, in the Advanced Oxford Learner's Dictionary, atheism is even defined as a religion. To become a believer, an atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, etc. But it is also notable that many atheists and many Christians share something else in common. Atheism and Christianity are considered a religion in the U.S. courts. And I show the link to that. It's the think it's Kaufman versus, I can't remember. It's there if you go to that link there. Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals deems atheism as a religion. So linguistically and legally, and in the encyclopedia, and in all these other references, atheism is a religion. And he says, I think you have a reading comprehension problem, because I never said that religion was always theism. I even said that there were some religions that were atheist. Animism, shamanism, pantheism, forms of Buddhism, but I don't have a religion. So I don't see anywhere where he said that in the past. Maybe he has. I don't know. He types tens of thousands of words at me. Tens of thousands. I mean, literally tens of thousands of words at me. So maybe he said that somewhere, but I must have missed it. He definitely didn't say it in this conversation. And I said, yep, you have also made other false assertions like, I have no bias, and I have no presuppositions. And this is the first time that I have ever heard you admit that atheists are religious. I think we are making some progress. So, I mean, let's just look up a philosophical concept here. Let's see if, like Aaron Ra has said, and you can see it in videos of him protesting Ken Ham, you can see it in conversations between him and I. He says he has no bias. Let's go and see philosophically if that's even possible, because I don't think it is. Can people be unbiased? I'll put a link to this in here. But in simple terms, bias is just another word for our brain recognizing patterns and making conscious and subconscious choices based on efficiency. These choices rewire our brain, reinforcing the bias for or against something, for better or worse. Basically, it's saying that no, it's not possible for somebody to not have bias. He says he has no biases. I think he's lying.